Turopron from Scroll with us. We're going to chat about Scroll for the AMA section. For those that have been here before, of course, you guys know how the format goes. We are on for the full hour from, I guess wherever you are in the world, it would be 2 p.m. UTC. So from 2 to 3 p.m. UTC, we're on. The AMA section will go for just however long the discussion is, just based on what we've set up pre-hand as well. And then I will stay on after the AMA section with you all till the hour is done. So, of course, without further ado, if you guys have any questions in the chat as well, feel free to ask them there. I want to thank our guest for coming on today. And just to start, feel free to introduce yourself and give us a bit of your background as well, and what you're doing in the space and what you have done possibly as well.
Hey, Duncan. Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, very happy to be here. And yeah, also very happy to be talking about Scroll, which I think is a very cool project that, yeah, I think many of you already know. And if you don't, I think you will like it. So for me, my name is Ahmed or Trupao, and I'm a DevRel at Scroll. And so before Scroll, I used to be a video game dev, and
Ooh.
yeah, it was very exciting times. But similarly um, to yeah, and I heard what happened, what Vitalik thought about video games, and that's what he got into. That's why he got into Ethereum. That's
That's
why he
true.
created it. So yeah, that's how I started getting interested in Ethereum, because when you create video games, I think it's twofold, because
Mm-hmm.
for users, you don't have like all the like you don't have all the you don't have ownerships and a say on what happens in the game, and also for game devs, I think it's the same, because you don't have to earn like all the trust from users. You don't have to ask users to trust you. They will like trust you by default thanks to Ethereum.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's not only good for users but also for developers. So yeah, that's how I got into Ethereum. Um, I used to do video and writing content uh, about Bitcoin. Um, but yeah, once I got into Ethereum, I'm full like heads on Ethereum. I really like the project, and that's why I got into Scroll, because I saw that Scroll is very Ethereum aligned,
Mm-hmm.
and it's building like, yeah, just building together with Ethereum. So what I do at Scroll, it's documentation, guides, uh, articles, videos, workshops, anything education related, because that's what I like to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's what I'm doing now at Scrum.
No, that's great. I mean, that helps everyone here today the most, right? So, 'cause that's what we're here for. So, I'm glad to have you in that education aspect. Is a big part of doing these for myself as well, as I get to learn to a certain extent, of course. Obviously, I take a look beforehand, just as a good interviewer, but some of the deeper stuff and technical aspects can sometimes get past me as well. We have a pretty diverse audience in terms of like those that are very tech savvy and sort of in the middle, or just kind of on the opposite side where they're really not sure. So if there are a few words or terms that may seem a little more heavy handed, I may ask you as well just for some definitions in the middle if that's okay. Um,
Cool, yeah.
and yeah, just before we get into like the more scroll stuff, I'm curious. You said you were a video game developer. Is there anything in particular you worked on that we might have known or seen, or anything interesting game wise?
Yeah, I work with creating a library for like an SDK. We call it like some code that will be used by other game devs. So I work in this company um, called called Mod.io. It's for modding. I really like modding,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, and so this startup allowed users to to easily to developers to easily add mods to their system. So yeah, I work in some small projects and some bigger ones, and probably the biggest one that I work with it's Mortaha on
Mhm.
Steam. It's like a
Oh, that's cool.
very, yeah, very big game, and yeah, a couple of indies too. Yeah, it was a good experience working on that.
That's awesome. No, I totally agree with the sentiment you mentioned as well, where it's so easy to get into crypto when you're into games in general, I think, and development and all those areas. Um, I really, yeah, it really does translate. And you just kind of once you get into it, I feel like you get sucked in, and then it goes from there.
Yeah,
Appreciate
sure.
it. So thank you for the awesome intro. Thank you for joining us today. So let's go ahead and jump into Scroll. And if you guys have questions in the chat, as usual, feel free to ask your questions in the chat. They may not all get answered directly live, of course, but if it fits into discussion, we'll slide it in, of course. So let's begin with just giving us your best intro to Scroll. Just the most simple, easy, what is Scroll? What can we expect from Scroll?
Yeah, for Scroll, the most important thing for Scroll is making Ethereum scalable, which
Mhm.
means cheaper and faster. And the cool thing about Scroll is that it doesn't like make compromises on sacrificing security, because all the security it's taken from Ethereum layer one.
Mhm.
So yeah, so we call them like that. We call them, of course, the zkEVM. It's a zkEVM on top of Ethereum, a layer two on Ethereum, and the zkEVM part is that it's zk because it's using this new technology that it's very secure. Like it helps scaling and scroll with cryptographic proof, which is
Mhm.
super fast and secure. And EVM because it uses the Ethereum virtual machine, which means that it's when you use Scroll, you have like the same exact experience as in Ethereum because it's EVM compatible. In the case of Scroll, it's bytecode equivalent, but the thing is that it's the same experience. You can use MetaMask. You can use if an app is deployed on both Ethereum and Scroll, you will have the same experience. And for developers, you can use the same tooling. So yeah, the same experience as Ethereum layer one.
So if we're to look at it, so basically what you're saying is I would get the same experience as if I were building on Ethereum, EVM, etc., with the benefits of like zkEVM.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, okay, awesome. So, okay, interesting. And so currently, so you mentioned that obviously you don't have to sacrifice on things like security, etc. Um, Are there any, I would say, balances that you would have to take otherwise than something like security, for example? Is there anything that you feel, or that I guess on the opposite side, you may lose in that aspect? I'm just curious.
Well, there's always the the so Scroll basically it's a smart contract on
Mm,
Ethereum layer one, and the smart contract verifies and like or bridge from one side to the other like in a secure way the transactions. You could say like Scroll like compared to Ethereum because Ethereum is where you get the most security.
mm,
So of course, always, and this applies to any other layer two, EVM or not. There's always like there's always since there is a contract involved. So we can say like Scroll is less secure than Ethereum, of course,
mm.
because there is this intermediary, which is the smart contract. The good thing is that the smart contract is cryptographically proved using zk, but there could be like bugs in the smart contract. So just be mindful of that. But oh, I can hear myself.
Oh, apologies, one moment. Yeah, go ahead. Should be
Okay,
good now.
thanks. But yeah, of course, Scrolls does due diligence and makes a lot of audits and everything. But other than that, there's no compromises
Mhm.
because is Scroll is using this new technology like zk that yeah is just the best technology we have researched so far, and yeah, it makes everything like yeah super cheap compared to layer one. It's just better. Like the technology is just way better than
I
uh,
can definitely agree with that. I
yeah.
think that yeah, over the last period, like it's been massive to see everything blow up with CK and been very exciting. I've gotten the chance to talk to quite a lot of projects involved in everything with share knowledge and all that, and it's been some really cool stuff that I've seen. So I like your explanation. So basically, you get the all the benefits of Ethereum with obviously the speed and the cheapness of the L2 aspects, with that one step in the middle that is the contract that you mentioned. Just that's like the simplest way of looking at it, basically. Am I correct in that sense?
Yeah, you're correct.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think that would help. Yeah, I think that helps to simplify it for those that may not get it as well. So appreciate it. Let me just scroll down here. Oh yeah, we already are. We already have some questions flying in. All right. Before we go into my next question, I think this is an actual solid question from Dale MC. So Dale MC says, what is the point of making another network when we already have so many of them? Optimism, Arbitrum, ZK Sync Base, etc. How does Scroll stand out? Where does Scroll make its mark?
Yeah, for yeah, that's a really good question. And so yeah, many other networks, and uh, f- I think we can take this question in two ways. One is the technical aspects, and other is the cultural aspects. And the technical aspects is why you need many is because um, like at least the top layer twos at the moment have difference in technology, and what's like sets Scroll apart from, for example, Arbitrum or Optimism. I really like all the layer twos. All are super good. I think
Mm,
all are helping scaling Ethereum, and that's a good thing. Something that we should support. But CK technology is more secure and faster than optimistic technology. And for example, so if you can see it on the bridge, so you can get into any optimistic rollup fast. But if you want to go back to layer one, you will have to wait like a week. But it's only minutes on zero knowledge. And when the technology gets better, it will be even faster. So yeah, finality, we call this finality time. The time that we like um, agree that a transaction that happened on layer two, like for example, you make a swap on a layer two, any layer two, the finality time will be different if you're an optimistic or a CK rollup. In a CK rollup will be faster, which means that your transaction will be verified by layer one faster. And it doesn't mean that you can swap in and swap back. It just means that you're because that will be like in a matter of seconds
yeah,
or even less.
yeah.
But yeah, it's the verification from layer one. Yeah, that's one thing. The finality time. And now there are many zkEVMs, like you have uh, Polygon zkEVM, you have zk Sync Era, and
Yeah.
you have Scroll. And the technical differences between those, like what sets Scroll apart from Polygon and zk Sync Era, is that Scroll's mission is to make it the most similar to Ethereum layer one. So what does this mean? So basically, It means that Scroll wants developers and users having the same experience, and and the other chains, for example, zkSync, it's adding like account abstraction.
Mm,
And the good thing about this is that you can, yeah, like use account abstraction right away. But what happens if you if something changes in the future? So Scroll will may not have like these new features, like these experimental features, but Scroll is focusing specifically on staying just like Ethereum and being the same as Ethereum and scale alongside Ethereum. So yeah, this means that all the new efforts done for scaling Ethereum and using zk technology for scaling Ethereum will also benefit Scroll, which will make it
yeah.
future proof. And yeah, it means that in the future it won't have these incompatibilities potentially, and yeah, it will just stay like very similar to Ethereum. And now the cultural part that I think it's also very important, and maybe it's I think 50% important compared to the technology one, is that Scroll really finds value in the Ethereum virtual machine. So Scroll thinks that there is a culture and there is a lot of value and positive things about everything that's happening on mainnet.
Mhm.
So, for example, the ERC20 is part of the culture of Ethereum, the NFTs, and all the already existing contracts. And Scroll thinks that there is a lot of value, and we need like to, instead of looking for new ways of scaling or instead of looking for alternatives, um, Scroll is Scroll wants to scale Ethereum as is. Just make, like I said before, make no compromises. So it means that no changes will be like in any part of the stack. No changes wants to be included because Scroll wants to stay true to Ethereum. So that I think that's the biggest difference. That Scroll finds a lot of value on the EVM and wants to stay true to it and wants to scale it with making no compromise. I don't know if that makes sense because I think it's quite a philosophical thing,
Uh,
but yeah.
no, I think it does make sense. It makes sense to me, 100%. I can totally get that. Wanting to be compatible long term. I think that a big thing to think about when you mention that, of course, is um, regardless of the scaling solutions that I think we've even created up to today, in my mind and in the mind of a lot of others, Ethereum is still at the top, right? Ethereum is still the backbone. Ethereum is still the foundation, right? It is something that will not go away, right? And it's
Yeah.
something that obviously they're working on to make better. And of course, we have things that are faster, are cheaper, etc. But at the end of the day, it's kind of like if we had, faster and cheaper Google, pretty much everybody's still using it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As just a good explanation. It's tough to get things to change. Like we could make something infinitely better than Ethereum, right? But not everybody's going to use it, and I think that that's something that people need to remember as well. And that's why I do think that is a nice way and a good way to view things and take things in the ZK atmosphere with obviously a lot of people doing this kind of similar thing, right? Um,
Yeah.
I think yeah, I think to me in general, I'm kind of the one who I understand that a lot of people are very they like comfortability. They like Ethereum and how it works, and if they can use something that works alongside Ethereum, just scales well with it, is comfortable, no problems when things change, etc. I think that's a really solid way to take things. That's cool. Actually, I didn't know some of those with Scroll, so that's pretty eye opening. I appreciate that. Um, Thank you, Deo, for the amazing question. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Um, it fit right in with everything. Um, Appreciate that. So we kind of covered obviously a few different aspects of Scroll here. Before we obviously move on to the next questions, kind of covering some different aspects. What? How did this begin? Right. We talked a bit about the culture and the different technical aspects. What was the originality of this? Was this something born overnight, or was this sort of like a long-term thing that came together?
Yeah, so Scroll, actually, yeah, it would definitely was not born overnight, and it started actually the code that Scroll uses today started from the PSE, the Privacy and Scaling Exploration, and I think it's a very cool organization. It's a group of researchers and developers funded by Ethereum Foundation. Yeah, if you don't know about them, I think you should check what these guys are doing because right now the narrative is around dank sharding. What comes like the future of Ethereum is like the dank sharding or account abstraction, and what the PSC does is thinking about is what happens after that, like years
Mhm.
after that, like in the not short term future. So they started thinking about what if since the zk technology is so good, what if Ethereum, like Ethereum layer one, because a zk layer one, like zkEVM layer one, and of course it's not something like very trivial. There is a lot of challenges. So but yeah, regardless, they started working on a zkEVM,
Mhm.
and they started, yeah, just making all these circuits because um, that's how you create the zk project. It's a bit similar but not really to programming, but it's very hard. And what Scroll did, because the Scroll mission it's to scale Ethereum. The Scroll thought, okay, what if we use the zkEVM, and since it's not like trivial to it's not easy to test it in layer one directly, what if we create a layer two and use these circuits, the zkEVM, to basically help scaling Ethereum right away. And if this experiment works, which is Scroll and which is working, then that's why we're very happy
Yeah, of course.
to be now on testnet. And if this works, it means that Ethereum potentially can also become a layer one. So yeah, that actually that's the beginning of Scroll. That's what got me into Scroll, because I see like the direct, like Scroll is helping Ethereum like in a very direct way.
Mhm.
Scroll also now is the biggest contributor to the zkEVM project, and yeah, because the PSE started, but now Scroll that like have like by creating this roll up, they're helping a lot. So yeah, so basically it was born from from an open source project, and that's why open source is one of the core values from Scroll. And yeah, just by wanting to to scale Ethereum, and it was the founders are from China. There's Jie, Sandy, and Haisheng. The three of them are yeah, I admire them a lot. They do really good stuff. But now the team is like everywhere in the world.
Mhm.
So yeah, there are many people from different countries. It's very um, yeah, very multicultural, and I think that's a good thing. But we all work with these values in mind. We all like open source, and we all like Ethereum, and we all want Ethereum to scale. So yeah, that's the vision, and then that's how it got started.
No, I love that, and we're very similar in that sense of the multicultural team as well. It's been a really pleasure, honestly, to get to work with so many different people. Um, and that no, that's a wonderful vision, honestly. And I think you guys are doing an amazing job. Obviously, with being on testnet right now and everything that you've been doing, and of course the takeover as well, and the stuff you guys are doing with us, which we'll go over in a bit. I have a couple more questions in the chat that I think are good, are solid. Akshay actually asked a burning question. I think that I meant to ask as well, but it totally skipped my mind. How did the name come apart? How did Scroll as the name come apart? Are you able to answer that for us?
Oh, no, actually, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
that's so
I like so
funny.
much. I like so much the emoji thing. I like it so much, but I really don't know. So,
No, I respect that. You just dived right into the product itself, and you're like, "Name's cool. Let's do this. I love this." No, that's funny.
yeah, yeah, but yeah, actually, yeah, I do like the name a lot, and yeah, the emoji part is so good, but yeah, I don't know.
Actually, I'm so sorry we didn't come up with the name for you. Maybe we'll find out in the Scroll community, in the Scroll community
Yeah.
Discord. I'm sure they got the answer there. Sorry, actually. Um, so this other question is from the head. More on the line of, I'm not sure if this is public information or something coming later on, or maybe something we'll kind of go into in the discussion today. But the question is, what is the design of Scroll's tokenomics model? Are you guys planning to release a token? What would its utility be within the ecosystem, incentives for participants? And how are you planning to strike that balance between adoption, security, and sustainability?
Well, at this point, we are not the only focus on Scroll is the next step, that is mainnet.
Mhm.
Yeah, the team is full focus on that, and after that, we yeah, there is no uh, yeah, there is no yeah no
Okay,
plans
okay.
at the moment. After that, yeah, only focus right now is going from testnet to mainnet.
Okay, cool. Awesome. That segues right into my next question. So for things to lead, so we're on testnet right now, and for things to get to mainnet, what kind of timeline can we expect with mainnet, and what can we expect from mainnet? What are some of the goals you guys have in mind?
Yeah, so we are very near mainnet actually. The current state of the new testnet, the Sepolia testnet, because we have like Scroll Alpha and on Go Early. Now we switch to release a new one on Sepolia, and the new one, the Sepolia one, is very similar to what mainnet is going to look like.
Hmm.
So far, so it's we haven't had like any issues like on Sepolia. So we're going to do a bit more of testing and and yeah. So I can't give any like exact date, but yeah, we're very near mainnet, and that's the next step. That's the yeah the there's not going to be like too much changes. So yeah, it should be like very near, and we are very excited on the team because yeah, mainnet is going to be like a big milestone, and it's also going to be like the beginning because there's more stuff to come, and yeah, also the CK space, it's advancing very fast, and new stuff are going to be added to Scroll after mainnet because there's going to be many improvements coming. But yeah, the next step is mainnet, and it's very near. That's what I can say.
No, that's very exciting, and I'm glad you guys are taking the time to make sure that everything is stress tested, of course, and
Yeah.
that the work is done, right? That's what we want at the end of the day. I feel like it is very easy for users to honestly, like, and it's easy for myself to be impatient too. I feel like as people, we just that is how we are, right? Especially when there's excitement involved. But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it was tough for us for a period of time as well too, where we had so many things in the works, and it does take time, right? At the end of the day, and it's hard for people to understand that sometimes when they don't see the process itself. But yeah, it's good that you guys are being so open about it, and getting that work done. I think I have a lot of respect for that in that sense. So with obviously the mention of mainnet, my next question for you today would be what kind of obviously, as this is something people are building on, what kind of different projects can we expect to see on the Scroll mainnet? What news about that or info you could share with us today? Have you guys been lining up some projects already or?
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I'm very excited to see a lot of like projects, like very like Ethereum native projects coming to Scroll. So, um, so there is actually you can already test on testnet the Uniswap and the Aave. Yeah, so those are coming to Scroll, but there's also coming projects like Compound, Safe Wallet. So many projects that you're used to know on Ethereum mainnet will be on Scroll, and uh, also there's going to be uh, many new projects, and some of them uh, are on. Are on the Scroll takeover that you guys are organizing.
Yes.
So it would be nice if you want to check out the new stuff coming to Scroll. There's also there. Good place to know these new projects, and also for developers because Scroll has a big focus on developers. Because at the end of the day, developers uh, build the projects that user use. So we want them to have a good experience, and there's so for developers we have Chainlink coming to Scroll. We have
That's awesome.
the Graph, and this infra providers, and yeah, these even if these projects are not like directly um, like users don't interact with them directly, they are like the backbone for many other projects to launch. So yeah, it's going to be, I think, a very good big ecosystem, very diverse with new and projects like are tested projects, and yeah, I think it's going to be really good.
No, that's very exciting. And you mentioned devs obviously working on Scroll, things coming up for devs. What kind of is the full experience that a developer would get with Scroll? Kind of easy, is it sort of easy access, easy onboarding? Can they just jump right into this?
Yeah, the experience for devs, it's similar to Ethereum. So if you are a dev and you want to launch on Scroll, the only thing you need to do is to change your RPC provider with the Scroll one, and that's it. You
Oh,
can
awesome.
the same experience as Ethereum. The only thing is you just need to point to Scroll and deploy, and yeah, other than that, it's the same experience. So very easy for devs. If you all the dev tools that you normally use, like Truffle, Hardhat, Remix, if you use Viper or Solidity or you whatever, you will be able to use it on. You are able now to use it on the testnet, and you will be able to use that on mainnet. So yeah, it's something that I think it's a big value that Scroll brings that users don't need to know anything about zk. That's the because zk can be a bit complex,
Yeah.
and as a developer you don't need to know anything about it. As a user either you don't need to know anything about it. Everything is abstracted away, so and very easy to use.
Yeah, because essentially you're taking away the learning curve for something in
Yeah,
this, right? And letting people still benefit. Um,
exactly. Yeah.
that saves a lot of time, I think, which a lot of people would really enjoy. Very cool. That's very exciting. And with the things you mentioned, like Chainlink, et cetera, it's going to be a very solid experience. Now, to segue into the next piece, you did actually mention obviously the takeover, the scroll takeover, and that kind of leads me to the work you guys are doing with us, of course. What led to you and us? What led to Scroll and Galaxy? What were some of the goals in mind? And if you just wanted to kind of cover that for everyone today.
Yeah, so at Scroll, we think the community, like, it's the most important part of any Web3 project. And I think that you guys also see it that way. So
Yeah.
I think that yeah, you guys are really good at building community, and yeah, that's why I think the scroll takeover is a good way to bring people to scroll and try it, and yeah, build a community and all the gamification that you have. And yeah, I think it's your audience is like really good, and very happy to have them at Scroll. Yeah,
No, it's awesome. And they've been very active today. They've had tons of questions um,
nice.
for you. Yeah, some of them today for sure. And not actually, not all of them actually had asked. I think I had like 18 pings at one point in the chat here with questions for you. Um,
Nice.
yeah, I mean, people love this space, right? I feel like those in the space that are more, I would say, when they get into the tech side of it, especially during downtimes in the market like this, it really is like the diehard users, right? It really is the people that want to find that new piece to believe in, right?
Yeah,
Especially when we have so many different people building, right? Um, and
yeah,
and
that's
yeah,
true.
so
Yeah.
I appreciate everybody asking their questions today. Obviously, if your question didn't get answered, next time it might. I can't include every question, of course, or we'd be on here for a few hours, right? So, but thank you guys for asking your questions in the chat. Kind of for the end of the discussion today, my next question would be for you would be on a user base, right? If I wanted to get involved with Scroll today, where would I go? What is the place you would recommend me to go, and maybe some different community programs we can get involved in?
Yeah, of course, a good starting point is the Scroll Takeover. I think it's a good place to get started. And other than that, um, if you want to stay up to date with the Scroll community, so yeah, you can get up to date with the on Twitter. There is uh, two Twitters. There is the build with Scroll, and also well, the official one, the main one is the Scroll under dash zkP, and also build with Scroll, where we cover like ecosystem stuff.
Mhm.
And yeah, if you want to get stay up to date, there's also the Discord channel if you want to interact. And there's also, if you are a developer and you want to contribute with code, we are very open for that. And yeah, just send a pull request on the Scroll GitHub, scroll slash tech. And yeah, if you also, you can do like internal or external contributions. If you want to do like Scroll directly, if you want to contribute to Scroll, just send a pull request, and yeah, the team will. Yeah, it's working in the same repos. There's no like uh, the yeah. So you can ask questions or contribute directly if you are a developer. And if you want to make an external contributions, there is the contribute to Scroll repository. So if you did a contribution to yeah to a dev tool or something like that, you can like let us know on the contribute to Scroll repo. So yeah, and also if you are a in general, if you're if you have a community like an Ethereum community near you, I think it's yeah, Scroll should also be there, because yeah, Scroll is like very like aligned and in tune with
Of
Ethereum.
course.
So yeah, you can meet us at events or hackathons or meetups or live streams. And yeah, if you are in an Ethereum aligned community and you want to have us, yeah, just let us know. And because yeah, we I think it's very important for us to engage with different communities.
No, I completely agree, and I love that you're able to guide the devs and the regular users as well. I appreciate that. A lot of the time, it's more so just the regular users, and and people have forget that there are usually some devs listening as well. So um,
Yeah.
I think you've done an amazing job of covering Scroll today, the different aspects, where you guys align in the Ethereum ecosystem, etc. I appreciate you coming on today, Ahmed. If you don't mind, just any final words for the listeners today before we end the AMA portion.
Yeah, just yeah, if you are new to Scroll and you like Ethereum, I think you will also like Scroll. And
Of
if
course.
you are a developer and or a user, yeah, just come and try it yourself because yeah, now we're in testnet, and yeah, happy to be here, happy to be part of this journey on scaling Ethereum. And yeah, also thanks everyone for the question, really good questions. And yeah, it was really good being here.
Awesome. No, I'm glad you came on. It's been great having you. I appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate you guys working with us on the takeover. I'm wishing you best on finishing off the test net and everything. For those that may have joined later on, there was no reveal of a mainnet date, but they are working hard on it, and things are looking very good. So, guys, check out in the chat the Scroll Sepolia takeover. I said that correctly. Thank you. And obviously, thank you again, Ahmed, for coming on. You can feel free to head out for today. I'm going to end off talking about some community related stuff here. So
Okay, thank you.
thanks so much. We'll talk to you next time.
See you.
Okay, guys. We have about 13 minutes left. I have one more thing that I was going to talk about today. Obviously, if you guys saw the Galaxy 2.0 announcement, just kind of going to go over that. Real quick though, I feel like I need to explain this because there was a bit of spamming in the chat today. Guys, your questions are I absolutely love it. I love to see the questions. Only thing I ask is do not spam the same question multiple times. Only and only if your question fits into the discussion that we're having at that moment, will it be asked, right? And I can't always guarantee that that question will be asked. If you spam your question, I most likely will not ask that question. As we already did. Say, for example, if someone asked the question of like privacy and security, but we covered that at the beginning of the conversation and we're towards the end, we're not going to ask that question, right? It doesn't make sense to suddenly go back to square one, right? As when I do this call, right? I spend time beforehand in the week leading up, writing out my questions that help to guide through the understanding of the project. So if we're already towards the end of the discussion and we're getting questions about privacy and security, or where Scroll stands on, Ethereum and how it will impact the ecosystem, and we've already answered that question at the beginning, I can't ask it, right? I just hope that makes sense to you guys. Um, so yeah, but yeah, and also you don't get points just for asking the questions. If your question is chosen, we've given out 5 points. As these good questions fit into the conversation. Obviously, your questions are not bad, but if it's picked, we'll reward. But there's no guarantee under any circumstance that your question will be picked. It just happens, and if it fits in. So but yeah, don't expect anything there. Just I appreciate you guys joining in. If you want to join in more in the conversation, feel free to ask questions. And if you don't want to join in, you just want to listen, feel free to as well. But I appreciate you guys asking all your questions. It's been an amazing call today for sure. Um, oh yeah, I appreciate you, Will D. I just wanted to explain that I saw some people discussing in the chat about because we gave 5 points to one of the questions that was chosen, but yeah, there's no guarantee that your question will be chosen. So appreciate you guys for asking those though and getting involved. Now moving on, of course, let's let's go right over into the end of today. Yeah, glad to have you, the Will of D. I appreciate you hopping in to listen in and everything. Is your name One Piece expired? Inspired. I'm curious. It should be. I hope so. It would make sense. Yeah, if question is picked, but there's no guarantee. that the question will be picked. It just if it fits, right? Um, I hope it's One Piece for sure. Let me know in the chat. So finally, last but not least, for our remaining minutes today, this is a real exciting one. We're gonna share this like three or four times. Yeah, I love One Piece. Huge fan. Regarding the new Galaxy score system. Um, if you guys have questions along those lines, let's put them in support chat if you can. Because I might not have the direct info or answer right in front of me live. Um, and I don't want to give you wrong information, obviously, or need to take time to answer the question. So I appreciate that, Ricky. Thank you. Let's work for walls. Let's go here. One second, guys. So follow along with me. If you haven't seen this, guys, go to our Twitter, follow, or sorry, go to our X, I guess, and follow. Um, these are some things we've worked on for a long time that we've wanted to get to for a long time. I may not have exact finals or details right away on certain things or questions. I believe we will go live with Harry at some point as well to go into the finer details. But let's go through the overview for those that might not have heard yet. Say hello to Galxe 2.0, a lineup of features designed with obviously you guys in mind. We have a few announcements surrounding this that will release. There is a blog as well introducing Galxe 2.0 that's in the tweet. Our devs have been hard at work. I know sometimes it's tough, and we have Twitter credential problems and etc. Regardless of the problems that happen, or maybe something's slow sometimes, we're consistently working, and we want to build a better system and a better ecosystem for you guys at the end of the day. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us in these down market times as we build and grow and try to put forward the best things we can for you guys. And that includes obviously a full upgrade of Galxe with the Galxe mobile app, smart balance, and more. So we're going to be having the mobile app launch. For me, I think this is amazing, right? I love to do things from my phone. Making it a simplistic process is the best thing I believe you can do, and will actually help in a larger, I would say, onboarding sense for a lot of Web2 users as well. Explore new products, contribute to DApps, claim rewards, and stay up to date with the swipe of a finger, of course. This will be available on test flight in Q4, and we're actually about to go into Q4, so it's not too long. It's not too far away at the end of the day. Yeah, Robin, feel free to ask a question, and I'll do my best to either answer it now if I can, or we can answer it later, of course, if I can't answer right now. Say goodbye to token swapping headaches. We're going to have Galxe Smart Balance, deposit stablecoins and Gal tokens, and enjoy seamless cross-chain transactions, making it a easier process for projects that may involve any form of cost, etc. So just making it easy for you. Everyone can use mobile app at first. There'll be a test flight, so we'll be doing some testing in Q4 to make sure it's good for you guys to use. Was the mobile version of Galxe. Save some of these questions, guys, for Harry as well, if you can, because we should be going live in the next month, kind of covering this. Yeah, exactly. That's what we'll be doing. Actually, we'll do a space for community discussion, and we'll probably involve Harry or Charles, and we can go over Galxe 2.0, deeper questions for sure. But yeah, this news is huge. Honestly, I'm very excited to share this with you guys. Next, of course, ever wondered about your Web3 status? The Galxe Web3 score tells all. This score will evaluate your experience, fame, expertise, assets, and humanity in the Web3 world. It's not just a score; it's your digital reputation and a unique soul-bound NFT. This is an NFT that is exactly bound to you, of course. And it's something that we've talked about for a long time. The value of credentials, what you guys have done on the platform, what you have achieved, what you have completed, right? This is the proof of your efforts. This is if you completed 10 educational campaigns. The proof is there. The work you did is there. The score will tell the work that you've done. And at the end of the day, I think that has such a massive value long term, especially if I'm looking for, say, for example, like I could be looking to get someone involved in the cadet program, right? And I see that they have an incredibly high score. on the Galxe Web3 score, that is something of value to me, right? As looking for someone that is knowledgeable, participates, diligent, etc. There's so many different things, and of course, the finer details we'll save for later on, of course. But in the app, you have to log in with Galxe ID or MetaMask address. I believe you can actually do it without your address on mobile. I believe we can do it without it. I'm not 100% on the full um, user process. As we release it, it'll be better for you to see in that sense. Um, but yeah, this will be some really cool stuff. Yeah, Galaxy ID V2 gets an upgrade. You can bind multiple wallet addresses to one ID. Yes, there we go. I was correct. Plus, social login support will mean you can participate in campaigns without a wallet. So yeah, you will be able to just socially participate in campaigns and not have to use your wallet on mobile, because I feel a lot of people worry about security concerns using wallets on mobile, and just the process can be clunky. And I feel like any Web2 user that we want to get involved in Galaxy, this process um, would kind of be put away. They would kind of be off put at the idea of how, yeah, exactly, good for new users. Letting them get involved without having to do the whole wallet thing right away, giving them that perfect intro, and then getting the wallet involved is, I believe, the best process, in my opinion. So, just my personal opinion. But yeah, I'm so excited for this. Part one is all about enhancing your personal Web3 experience. We've got up to this point today with 12 million active users, 36,000 campaigns. I just want to thank you guys in particular for getting involved. I want to thank you guys for coming in every week and chatting with me, asking questions. Um, I want to do more segments on these calls that involve you guys. So maybe we could do, even to start, maybe we could do some question sharing beforehand about the project, and then I can pick some out to add in and make that a better process. And also, I'd like to do a music sharing as well. Maybe we can share some music from the audience, and we can do a little listening in, and shout out the person that shared that song. Let me know your guys' ideas. I have many, and I'll share them with you as well. Of course, it's a game changer. I agree. It's been a crazy ride. I've seen these guys hard at work. I've seen these devs hard at work. Everybody is grinding every day. I appreciate you all for sticking along with us, getting involved, participating. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to thank our guests one more time, even though they've probably headed out for today. Ahmed, you were wonderful. The Scroll Sepolia takeover was awesome, still awesome. Glad to see Scroll doing so well. Ethereum, in my opinion, is still the future, and it's awesome to see everyone building and scaling alongside it. So, um, thanks so much, guys. I appreciate y'all for listening. Go check out all the things I mentioned today, especially Galaxy 2.0. Be ready for the finer details, more calls, etc. We're going to go over this as everything gets released. There will be part two, of course. So stay tuned for part two. I appreciate you guys. And I'll see you next week.